Today, let's talk about everybody's least favorite part about growing plants: pests, specifically spider mites. I'm going to tell you what they are, how to spot them, and what to do about them. Spider mites. They are like the vampires of the plant pest world. They have little fangs that bite into the plant and they feed off the cell membrane and the juices of the plant, slowly killing it leaf by leaf. What plants are spider mites most attracted to, or plants that are most vulnerable to them? In my experience, it's any kind of alocasia, calathea, or other thin leaf plants. Something like a Monstera adansonii is a great example. What kind of climate do they thrive in? Well, they thrive in dry, hot climates, also are more attracted to dusty plants. Being that I live in Colorado, spider mites are the main pest that I deal with our very dry climate. Good way to help combat that is having humidifiers, trying to raise that humidity in your house. How do you know if your plant has spider mites? Sometimes there may be signs of yellowing leaves or leaf damage, but one of the best ways to check is to look for webbing. That's normally going to be your first sign. You can use a flashlight, which will reflect off that webbing, and look in the little crevices and nooks and crannies of the plant, like the sinus or in between fenestrations. Those are often the places where you'll see webbing first. I have the flashlight on here, and if we look closely at the plant, between all the little fenestrations, we can see some very fine webbing. And as we look around the outer edges of the plant, we see that yellowing, that damage to the cells of the plant from the spider mites. For my alocasias, it's a little bit different, but I can see this leaf damage along the edge of the leaf. And then I may also inspect right around the sinus to see if there's any signs of webbing, and especially under the leaves. So if I look right around the stem, I don't see webbing, but you'll start to see all those little tiny white dots. Those are spider mites hanging out under there. When you have an outbreak, it is super important to check all your plants. Not all plants will necessarily negatively react to spider mites. This Tycon is a great example. He was covered in spider mites, but showed no signs whatsoever. Super important that I cleaned him though, because there's vulnerable plants around him that had I not cleaned him, they would have spread right back onto. But here's the good news. Spider mites are one of the easiest pests to deal with. They only reside on the leaves and the stems. They don't lay eggs in the soil. So all you need to do is very thoroughly clean the leaves and the stems routinely until the infection is gone. In an earlier video, I shared how I treat for spider mites.